Nikola Tesla. Eons. When you hear that name, your mind probably goes straight to a lab full of sparks, bizarre towers, and wild ideas that were way ahead of their time. But here's the real question. How is it possible that someone with so much genius, someone who literally imagined the future, we're talking Wi-Fi, drones, clean energy, never became a billionaire? Why did one of the greatest minds in human history die alone? Broke. In a small hotel room. Let's take a trip. Not with a time machine, but with the power of storytelling. Tesla was like a myth. A man who could speak to electricity, play with energy, and envision a world that didn't exist yet. But the world has never been kind to geniuses, especially the ones who don't know how to play the game of money and power. So, let's rewind. Late 19th century. A young, ambitious Tesla steps off the boat in America, fresh from Europe. First place he goes? Thomas Edison, the rock star of invention at the time. Tesla tells him, "I can improve your electrical system." Edison laughs. "If you can do that, I'll give you $50,000. Tesla dives into work, obsessed. A few weeks later, he nails it, comes back to Edison and says, "I did it." Edison laughs again. "Tesla, you clearly don't understand American humor." That one sentence changed everything. Tesla quit and walked away. He started working on alternating current, AC, the very system that powers our homes today. Edison, on the other hand, was all in on direct current, DC. But Tesla proved that AC was cheaper, more efficient, and could travel longer distances. Oh! And boom, the current wars began. Yet, Tesla versus Edison. Or rather, pure science versus strategic capitalism. But Tesla wasn't alone. He found an ally, George Westinghouse, a businessman who believed in Tesla's vision and backed him with money. AC was catching on. But then, Westinghouse's company hit financial trouble. Now here comes the jaw-dropper. Tesla, in a move no one expected, tore up his own royalty contract. Said, "I don't want your company to go bankrupt." Let that sink in. That contract could have made Tesla one of the richest men in history. But he didn't care. He wasn't in it for the money. He was in it for the dream. One of Tesla's biggest dreams? The Wardenclyffe Tower. A project to deliver wireless energy across the globe. No wires, no boundaries, free energy for everyone. At first, it was funded by the legendary banker J.P. Morgan. But when Morgan realized there was no way to monetize free electricity from the air, he pulled the plug. Funding stopped. The project collapsed. Tesla fell into a deep depression. That tower? Never completed. It stood there like a half-finished spaceship to a future that never arrived. Still, Tesla kept going. His notebooks were packed with designs for wireless communication, renewable energy, even something like a modern-day death ray. He believed he could build technology to end all wars. But people thought he was crazy. Some still do. The truth? He was just too far ahead of his time. He could see a future the rest of the world wasn't ready for. A world powered without coal, oil, or cables. A world that ran on clean, limitless energy. But here's the problem. Tesla didn't know how to turn ideas into business. He wasn't good with investors. He had zero marketing instinct, and he gave away ideas without locking down patents properly. While Edison was filing hundreds of patents and building empires, Tesla was busy sketching out a better world in his notebooks. He was like an artist who didn't want to sell his paintings, just wanted people to see them. And the world? It doesn't pay dreamers who don't monetize. At one point, someone asked Tesla, "With all these inventions, why aren't you rich?" He smiled and said, "Because I didn't care about being rich. I cared about bringing light to the world." Tesla truly believed he could power the entire Earth, with no wires, no pollution, no bills. To bankers and businessmen, that wasn't exciting, that was terrifying. His life is full of wild moments, Like the time he claimed he was spiritually connected to a white pigeon. He said the pigeon carried messages from another realm. When the pigeon died, Tesla said he lost his purpose. In his final years, he lived alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. Just him, his notebooks, and his visions. He barely had money to eat, but his mind never stopped racing. When he died, all he had were a few coins in his pocket. But what he left behind? A treasure. Many of today's technologies, electric vehicles, drones, clean energy grids, even wireless charging, have Tesla's fingerprints all over them. And that sleek T on Tesla cars? That's a stylized cross-section of an electric motor Tesla's motor. A classy tribute to a man who never saw a dime from his own brilliance. Now here's a question for you. If Tesla were alive today, in the age of the internet, crowdfunding open source innovation, would he still fail? Or would the world finally recognize the genius they once ignored? Tesla never became a billionaire because he never chased billions. He chased ideas. He chased possibility. He dreamed of a better life for all of us, not just the rich. He came from the future, but landed in the wrong century. Maybe the world didn't deserve Tesla then. Maybe. We still don't. But one thing's for sure. His name lived on. His ideas lived on. And they're still lighting the way for a new generation of dreamers. So next time you see a quiet inventor or a wild-eyed dreamer who nobody believes in, stop for a second and ask yourself, could this be the next Tesla? Because not all Teslas start rich. But if you give them a chance, they might just change your world too. And that's a kind of wealth you can't fit in a bank account. That's a legacy. That's the light.